Yo, what up? We got a fucking guest that you can actually see today.
Welcome.
His name is Young Dyke. And
Daniel.
nah, it's Daniel. My brother. As you can see, I got the looks. He got the
talent.
The
I got all
bad.
the talent.
Nah,
He's got the leg and the hype, but I got all the talent. They don't even know about it.
bro, nah. Alright. He hyped himself up too much. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say.
Gotta do something.
Hopefully it sounds alright. It don't sound too fucked up. So anyways, you were telling me about a story about something that happened to you.
Man, so I genuinely hate the food industry a lot because the other day, so I work at this like wing restaurant, like I said, name for legal reasons, but the whole time I try to like be nice to customers because tips. I wanted tips the whole day, and that's like all I've been trying to get. And I only got one tip from this dude. I'm pretty sure was high as a kite, and I only got one tip out of it.
Only the pilot.
Yeah, but no, what made me mad is like, alright, so usually the people, when you take their orders like last minute, like 11:45 when we're supposed to close, they'll be like, alright, I'll give you a tip, right?
Yeah.
And usually some people will be like, nice like that. I'm like, finally, I can get a tip that's probably good. I don't care if it's like $5 or whatever. I only got $1 tip.
Yeah.
And so when they came to pick up the order, my manager was like, hey, Daniel, can you clean this? So I was cleaning, and so the other second cashier, the girl that legit did nothing all day mostly. She was just in the back chilling. She got Panda Express from her supervisor. Like, she did nothing, and she went up front to take...
somewhere. That's all I know.
She went to check the guy out, cash him out and everything, and she got a $20 tip.
Bro.
You know how pissed I was. A $20 tip. Genuinely, I was pissed. I was like, $20 tip. Like, who? Oh, dude. And she didn't even split it. She was like, I'm keeping that. Everybody was like, you're hoeing. And it's like, well, hey, you gave me the tip. It's like, that was supposed to be my tip. And she was the one that got on my ass. You gotta stop taking orders last minute while I'm trying to go fucking home. Like, everything. And then she was the one that got a $20 tip.
Bro.
And
It's
she was
always
laughing.
the unproductive ones that get good treatment. It's just, I don't know, man.
And I was genuinely pissed. And I shared my red velvet cake with her. Some homeless man gave me a red velvet cake.
Why would you take red velvet cake from a homeless man?
No, so what happened?
What the fuck, bro?
We have a homeless man.
That's how you catch COVID.
I'm immune at
Ah,
this point.
whatever.
But no, it's just we have a homeless man that's like that comes every once in a while, like once a week, maybe every couple of days, and he's been there since the beginning of when that restaurant opened. So he'll come on, everybody will feed him. It's just kind of like a little tradition, and people give him food from like different restaurant stores that they have around the shopping center.
Yeah.
So, he came and he was like, we gave him some food, and then, he has a fat dog with him named Valentine, because he got on Valentine when she was just a puppy, because the original homeless person was going to throw it away. So he was like, nah, just give it to me.
The original? God
yeah,
damn.
like the person that originally owned it. And so I always go out there, pet his dog, and the dog's really nice. She's well trained. She knows how to shake hands. And I gave him the food, and he asked me, hey, do you want some cake that I got from this cake store? And they were in these little containers that were like waterproof because it was kind of raining. And I was like, are you sure? And it's like, yeah, man, take whatever you want. You're always so good to me. And I'm like, you sure? And there was a vanilla red velvet. So I was like, all right. So I took one. I kept a conversation with him about whatever he's doing.
Whatever's going on in the homeless world.
Yeah, I think he talked about going back to camp for something for homeless people, and he talked about God a little bit. And I kind of zoned out midway because, he was smoking a cigarette, so he was kind of like out of his mind. But I went in, I was going to share the red velvet cake with the cook that made the food, but she was like, nah, I'm good. So I was going to share it to the person that had got the $20 tip, but that was before she got the tip.
Ah, see, that's why you don't share with people.
But it was like she always gives me rides. She would always give me rides back home, and so.
Oh, then sure. You should.
I was like, sure, why not? And then she got the $20 tip.
Hey, bro,
she knew I was kidding about it.
You can't get mad at her, bro. She gives you rides and shit.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
You know what I'm saying?
I was so paid with it, but
you can't get mad about it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, I gave her some half of the red velvet cake. She dropped it half in her car because it was in a little container, and we didn't want to share out of that little thing. So we got half of it. We put it on top of the other container, and we ripped it apart. but half of it fell from her window and all the doors, so it just slid down. And she was like, ah, damn. It's like, I'll just clean this later. And she just ate whatever was left. But yeah, that was my luck for the day. I was so, yeah. Genuinely, it made me mad. So I was like, damn. So I got so petty. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring my own jar from home, write tips on it, and then put it in front of the counter. I found out I can't do that. I'm actually allowed. I can actually get terminated for that.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, so the way it works is like, so what happens is like, I get a good tip, right? And then I give out the order, and something's wrong. Something's wrong with the order, or something was missing, or whatever. And now it's my fault, and I get in trouble for me getting tipped for something that was wrong. And so I get in trouble. It's a whole thing.
Bro, it's a fucking tip.
Yeah,
it's technically your fucking money. It's just regulations. Let me guess. You have to put that shit in the cashier if it's wrong or whatever.
I guess so. So if it's, I don't know.
See, it's a
really
fucking scam.
They really didn't say much.
It's a fucking scam. So as you can tell, he deals with a lot. He loses shit left and right.
Man, I can't sleep at night.
Man can't catch a break. It's alright.
Anyways, welcome to the professional podcast. Where
what I'm saying? Yeah,
speak our opinions and yours don't matter. But
exactly. Fuck you.
It feels weird being on a podcast because I feel like everybody's doing it nowadays. Because it's like hipster thing.
It is a hipster.
Because like I showed you one of my friends that I did theater with in school.
Here's the thing. I don't mind it, but it's not my type of shit. I like listening to hilarious or funny stories or just something interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to be as interesting as I can. But when you're just talking about your day and shit, like, well, today, I woke up and, I did this and I did that. It's a little bit more difficult. That's why I don't do them every day now. For a little while, I was doing them every day, but exciting shit doesn't happen to an average person. Exciting shit like that won't happen to everybody. So, you gotta space it out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know, it was weird, because, like, I was, like, because the only podcast I ever actually got into, I was listening to was probably, what's it called? This Is Why We Drink.
That's a good one.
That were drinking, telling like scary stories they found on there. That was a good one, but I kind of lost track of that.
I'm not a cap. I'm not like, Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was going with. What I was going with, my bad, G. I don't know.
Everybody's doing podcasts though, and it's like this new hipster thing. It's like, oh, you come listen to my podcast. Wearing turtlenecks.
No, I don't do that. My bad. Yeah, I can't do that shit. I don't promote it, not because I know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the sound quality. We're playing shit out of the mic instead of merging it in with some editing software. I don't figure it out. Yeah, we're figuring it out. I'm not gonna advertise my podcast until I know I'm good at it. You don't advertise anything unless you know you're good at it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't advertise my live streams. And if I advertise it, it's on here. Then nobody watches. So doesn't even count as advertising. You know what I'm saying? When I'm clapping cheeks, fucking when my KD's 6 or some shit like a 10, 15, then alright, I understand. I forgot to get you your water bottle. If you want, you can go get it.
We're good. I don't want to move because I'm going to fall and trip all over this stuff.
Alright, cool. Yeah, man. There's no point. Right now, I don't need to advertise shit. I'm doing this for those that were here from day one that's lit. But eventually I'm going to start, putting it on Facebook and raid Shadow Legends and whatever the fuck. But right now, you gotta take it day by day, boys. You gotta take it day by day. Man, we just went Ubering today. That's all we really fucking did. We saw, so there's a street, and we call it Homelessville, because there's a big patch in between the two lanes going left, forward and back. And there's a fucking camp. Like, they got, I'm pretty sure they got TVs, they got trash cans, there's trash everywhere, they got bikes. They got everything they fucking need. it's ridiculous. In Austin, the homeless population is just wild, and they don't give a fuck. There's people with cars that have, like, SUVs and shit, and they'll just go right under a fucking, overpass, over an overpass, and they're barbecuing. They got their generator, they got their TV, they got kicked out of. I mean, listen, you gotta do what you gotta do, but come on, you really gotta do all that shit? Get a fucking hotel. You're really telling me that the food you just the charcoal, the grill, the fucking the Cuban flag they got outside, whatever the fuck they had outside. I think it was like a Swedish flag. I don't know what the fuck it was. I'm not a what is that?
Flag expert.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the actual name, not the fucking a flag expert.
I mean,
I'm not a fucking flag. I'm not a fucking flag, fucking whatever. But yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Like you just live in your car. Why you gotta be outside just putting tents? They had a fucking fence up. Where did they get the materials? Like what? You did so much hard work that you could have just put in to trying to get on a hotel every once in a while. Listen, I lived out of my car just so I could see if I could do it. I mean that shit was. I was literally just parked outside of my mom's house and just said, you know what, I'm gonna camp out. And I lived in my car for like 2 weeks or some shit like that. It's alright. It's not that bad. Alright? If you got a car, it's way better than just being homeless with no car. Because you can live in your car, but you can't drive your house. That's the statement right there.
I mean, I slept on your floor for like a little bit. Even though I have money for an inflatable bed, it didn't cross my mind that I should probably get an inflatable bed. I just slept on the floor.
Well, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him.
I don't know.
He was wilding. He was just huddled up in the corner. I mean, you missed all the good shit. There was a murder. There was a couple that was like arguing because the fat chick is mad at the weird looking Mexican guy because he went out and sucked on a titty or some shit, and now she's coming to his house drunk. Like fucking Puerto Ricans blast the music at 3 a.m. right next to us so we can't fucking sleep. Ridiculous shit. Like
on the last day we moved out to a new location, there was like a piece of vomit and like somebody's feces on the floor, like on the bottom stairs. It was just right, and they didn't even clean it up. But man, I want to.
We spent the whole day moving back and forth between the new apartment and the old apartment. And it never got fixed. What did I say? You mind checking real quick?
No. I'm gonna ignore it.
You're what?
I'm gonna ignore it.
Alright. Well, I don't know if he's... I don't know. We got a fucking text and we're both looking at it. I'm recording out of my phone. Y'all know this shit. So y'all know.
We're gonna get a new camera soon, but just bear with us.
We gotta get a camera. We gotta buy editing software. We got a lot of shit we gotta buy. All right, but I'm just giving it to y'all. Fucking raw. Yeah. Right, raw dog. Like you're in fucking high school.
I mean, I got a software, but like I don't know how to edit still, so I gotta figure out how to do that. Cause I had one. Like it wasn't good, it was complicated, but I got a new one that was supposed to be good. So I'm checking that out, see what's up, and then we'll probably do better on that one. But for the meantime, I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Well, the first
improvising at the moment.
The first few episodes, I actually had to compress them, and so the quality wasn't as good because the editing software was on my phone, and it could only go up to like 720p or some shit like that. The quality. It says it's 1080p. It don't look 1080p.
Hey, nah.
That's not 1080p. Alright, my phone's capping. My fucking phone.
We're gonna
fucking what is that LG piece of shit?
We're gonna have on a camera for sure. We just gotta pay the rent first to see how much.
We gotta pay the rent. Yeah.
Priorities, but then because I gotta get a camera too, I'm starting to start doing TikTok.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're gonna just go half on one and since we're basically recording in my room, like. This is my room, like this is my wall. These are pictures of my friends and me. Like,
I don't even think you can see them.
You can, but they're gonna. Yeah, we're in my room.
A bunch of nerds and shit up there.
Because like people record outside, and even though that bothered me, just like damn, he's outside recording, and I'm like, yeah, so I gotta do something. And I had a desk that basically wasn't using at the moment, so I said you can use my room. I just move my bed around, have extra space. And the first night he used it, I fell asleep. I was in my bed right there. Yeah. And he was. I was
doing a fucking podcast, high as shit. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was so high. I don't even remember what the fuck. I think I told 2 stories and then I don't know. I was just going off on something.
I was just like I was
out
to my headphones. Yeah, I was out. I had to work the next day in the morning, so I was just out.
Yeah. It's a little. I'm a little farther away this time. Usually it's all up in my face, but you know, eventually we'll get a better camera and you can whatever.
I'll figure out how to edit so it'll look at least decent. You know?
That ain't happen. I know enough editing to fix all this. It's a fucking monstrosity out here. I got a fucking chicken wing for an arm. You see how ridiculous? My arm doesn't look that fucking fat, but because of the camera, it adds like 30 fucking pounds. Look at that shit. You see that shit? It's a drumstick right there. What the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Which is weird because look, this arm looks weird, and I mean this arm looks normal, and this one looks like a drumstick. You see that shit?
Yeah.
Like I beat my
one
meat with the right.
darker than the other one.
Hold on, maybe because I need it. Sorry, I got pit. No, it still looks like a fucking chicken wing. Maybe the angle? Yeah, I think it's the angle.
So in other news,
This is my good side, by the way, just so you know.
So in other news, Conor McGregor got knocked out.
Oh,
So that was bad.
That sucks.
The
memes are good though.
Oh, the memes were good. Basically, it's just Nate Robinson. That's basically just what happened, and it was just bad. I was like the day it happened, I was like, I'm gonna get my $20 tip. Everything was just going bad that whole day.
And
like, I was getting yelled at. Yeah, I'm like, oh dude, I was like, finally the UFC fight. I can probably go home, watch the highlights, kind of break it down, see what's up. No, he comes in through the balcony. He says, Conor McGregor got knocked out, and that's when he got knocked out. Right that second, he said it. I'm like, I was upset. I can't win. I'm not winning.
You ain't winning in life right now.
No.
It ain't. What is it? Birdman in 2006.
I'm not feeling Gucci Mane in 2006.
Gucci Man. I don't know why I keep saying Birdman.
Birdman. No.
I'm Bird.
So what happened is like the way I got that phrase from is because it was an NBA YoungBoy song. And one of his song lyrics that starts as, I feel like Gucci Mane in 2006, and I don't know, I guess Gucci Mane was popping in 2006.
Yeah,
and then he kind of made it like, I'm balling like Gucci Mane and stuff. And so I used a reverse version of it. So when things are going bad, when I'm not winning or balling, I just say, I don't feel like Gucci Mane in 2006. This is not the song this was not the song lyrics I was promised.
I feel like Gucci Man when he got arrested. Bitch, I'm biting. That's so funny.
I feel like Joe Exotic when he didn't get what the fucking one exonerated.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Joe Exotic.
I feel like Nick Cannon when he tried to diss Eminem and he ain't get no fucking. All he did was joke on him. Jesus.
I feel like Dave Robinson.
Oh, I feel like Conor McGregor.
Ah.
Oh boy. Nah, fucking.
I feel like Kanye West in the Jeffree Star rumors. Man, I don't know what happened with that. I haven't even kept up.
I don't know. Apparently it's not true.
Yeah, some girl made it up.
Some girl made it up.
But the divorce between Kanye and Kim Kardashian was supposedly real, so that's what's going on. I don't know. I haven't kept up with Jeffree Star. I stopped watching him. I stopped watching like his friend Shane Dawson. I just stopped it all. Like it was getting annoying. It was all bad.
It's just drama after drama.
Yeah, and saying, "Oh, I changed. I'm getting my head straight. I'm gonna take a break," and they're still the same. Like and it's just after years.
I think he's just fucking. You know what it is. They're taking videos from him back when YouTube was actually fucking YouTube, not what it is now. Now all it is people, they can't say anything bad because then they're scared that the 10-year-olds that watch them is gonna fucking, they're gonna go report it. Their moms is gonna see it. Listen, YouTube back in the day was the shit. This YouTube now, it's okay. All right, it's got good quality shit here and there, like this. But before that, I mean, it was a fucking mess. Like, there was videos on how Hitler was a fucking, technically speaking, with aliens, and like a bunch of ridiculous ass videos. And you know what I'm saying? And YouTube was just acting like it wasn't that. Like, it wasn't fucking talking like, oh my god, I remember one time I was just scrolling randomly, and this fucking video of 3 Asian women, right? And 2 of them are licking the bitch's nipples.
Yeah.
That's YouTube. That's not X videos. That's not X Hamster. That's not fucking Pornhub. That was YouTube, okay? You can't find that shit now.
I had a weird phase with aliens. I remember that.
Yeah, there was like weird alien shit all over the place. Lizard people, like all this crazy shit. all the shit that conspiracy theories now are like all big on. That came from YouTube, and you know what I'm saying. YouTube's gonna act like they weren't sponsoring his content at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube had no issue with it until all these fucking blue-haired hippies had a problem with it, and that's the issue. That's really the issue. You know what I'm saying? But if they would have kept it real, there wouldn't have been no damn issue with nothing. All right.
Speaking of three Asian women licking women's nipples, I remember my sophomore year, I would come home from CC's because I was working at the time, and it was like 10 or 11 at night, and I'll turn on YouTube because we had Wi-Fi back at mom's house.
Yeah.
And as soon as I turned on YouTube, nothing but just recommended of some Asian porn videos that was said something with the name was Moonlight, something like that. It was just pure videos, just Asian porn, roll after roll, and I'm like, what? And I think the category was like midnight, something like that, like midnight shows, yeah. And obviously I clicked it, but you know I was
Obviously, I clicked it.
but it was like it was.
Did I beat my meat to it? Well, of course, but you know
But it was
that's
like-
the fucking point.
But it was like a little theater thing, you know, when you use like copyrights where they put the little like background, it's like looks like a theater. That's what it was, and like didn't censor nothing. It was just there. I'm just
You
like,
see that shit?
why is YouTube like doing this like at 11? You know, it's like Cinemax when like you would watch movies all day, and then there was a midnight like at Cinemax where it was just porn movies after porn movies. And I still remember that my first video. But, man, that just this ridiculousness.
Nah, honestly, like this shit's ridiculous. But I think it's gonna tone down. I think because Biden's now either they're gonna bolden up or they're gonna double down or they're gonna chill the fuck out with all this. Because I don't think progressiveness is bad. But what the fuck, dude? No, I mean it's gotten ridiculous. Hopefully, you know, we don't have to bounce back. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to go all the way back, but somewhere in the happy middle. You know. Anyways.
I remember the ghost videos back in the day were different too. Now that I think of it, like I remember I had an obsession with like aliens and ghost videos. Like
That was a shit. That was
it
a
was like
shit.
2008, and like the ghost videos on it were like different from the ones now. The ones
Yeah.
were kind of like
The one that scared me the most, I still remember this.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The rocking chair.
Oh, the rocking chair.
So
yeah.
it was a video. It was green, like it was night vision, and the rocking chair was just there, right? And then it would start moving slower, and then it would speed up so fucking fast, and then the scary face would pop up, and oh my god, I shit myself. I think I genuinely did shit myself. I had to be like, fucking 11,
The
12.
one that's like burned in my mind is the one where like it was nighttime, right? And I think you remember this video. And you showed me, I think, and it was two dudes. One was the driver, and one was recording. He was in the back seat, and they saw a girl that was walking by herself in the middle of the night, and they picked her up. They're like, "Hey, you need a ride?" And they got her in, and and the guy kept trying to record her, but she was like looking away, and every time they would record her, the camera would kind of like glitch out. And they were asking her questions. It was a Spanish video too. It was like I think in Mexico, and like, they would ask her like, "Where are you from?" And she was like, "I don't know." Like where do you? Like, they were asking a bunch of questions.
I do remember that. They were asking where she's from, and she's like a town up ahead.
Yeah.
And then they were just asking her questions, and every time that they would turn towards the camera, they would put the camera towards her, the shit would glitch out, and it would act really fucking weird.
Yeah,
I remember.
and
that.
she looked very, very kind of off. Like
yeah, she looked
like
weird.
her face looked very, very off. And I remember she was talking about like her accident. I think her car.
No, they were like, so what? Why are you out here? And she said, do you see that car crash? And she pointed out towards like a weird little field next to a tree, and it was a car flipped over that was on fire. And they're like, what the fuck? They were like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Like, they were just asking her, like, what happened? And she said, I died there. And then they turned to her, and then they fucking, she starts screaming, and her face starts fucking melting, and her eyes turn black. I mean, it's actually fucking scary.
Yeah.
And then the car, of course, flips because the guy freaks the fuck out. And I think the only person that lived was the person that was holding the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But coincidence, right? And yeah, that was that. And then the tape it got found, like, whenever they found the fucking wreckage. But
I think
they
added on to like the story more.
Yeah.
He went home and asked him what happened. He's like, I don't know. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
interesting.
It was weird because they looked very edited like a lot of times, but like it just felt so authentic. Like,
Yeah, I mean, active imagination helps when we're younger. So now, if we probably saw those same videos, we'd be like, man, this shit look fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
It was, you know, it was so weird because we had internet in 2008. Like,
fast internet.
yeah.
But
Like, I
that wasn't
remember,
the time of slow internet. Slow internet was back in like the 2000s.
yeah, but I'm saying, like I was in the first grade and we had like a computer, like a Dell computer, and like the CPU and everything, and we had Wi-Fi, which is weird. Cause I think about it, like, dude, like,
We had free cable.
yeah, that's.
I don't know how some dude figured out how to splice it, and so we had
That
free
was fun.
cable. Yeah, we had free cable all over the place.
Yeah, cause like mom was working all the time. Cause she was single at that time, so she was working most of the time. And
Oh my god, that house was creepy as fuck.
oh dude, I
That was a
got
creepy
so
ass
many
house.
scary stories. You want to tell one or you want me to tell one?
You could tell one. Do you mind moving the little thing because I can't see the timer? I don't want it to split in 30 minutes. Sorry for the fucked up noise.
I have green eyes, but those are
What is it? What's the
25.
We'll just have to do a part 2. Anyways, go ahead.
So, so what started, it was like, since we first moved to this brick house, it was like 2-bedroom, but it was a small brick house, and since the first feeling I got in there, it was always kind of off. Like, it felt like there was some history in that, like, at the house, but, like, you know, what didn't help was watching all the scary ghost videos.
Yeah, it didn't help.
The one that I remember the most was, we had 2 friends that, my mom met this one lady from her job, and she had kids, and so sometimes they would come over. We had a PS2, I would say, I think. Was it a PS2, right? That you had?
That was a
We had Need
game.
for Speed. We had a Need for Speed, though.
Oh yeah, it was a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And we had Need for Speed, and I remember they would come over sometimes, and
Most
they spent the night. Yeah. And we had, me and him shared a room, and we both decided to put the rooms in another room between the couches, right? And so I slept in the bed. Yeah, I slept on the bed, and then his other friend, I think he was close to my age, slept beside me, and he slept on one of the couches, and the older one slept on the other one. And I remember I was sleeping, and I kept getting weird feelings as like somebody was staring at me, and I'm like, I can feel them through my mind, like somebody's staring at me, and so like something told me like, open your eyes, and so I opened my eyes, and I see like this black head, like it was like right here, and it was all black. Like I couldn't see its face expression with nothing, because the only light that was coming in the living room was from like a pole that was outside, and that was the only light. And I remember the hair was frizzy. It was just like right here, and the hair was all black, and it was just frizzy. And I remember staring at it, and just for a while trying to figure out who was this. And then I'm like, and obviously as a kid, I just turned a blanket over my face, and I was like, is it gone? And I went back. It was missing, and I was like, I remember that was implanted into my mind. And after that, my mom walked in through the door, and she got back home, and it was around 1, so that's when the time she got back home. She would leave like at 4, I think, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and she would get back home like at 1 in the morning.
It was 6 to 6. I think that was her schedule, cause she left at 6 in the morning, afternoon, and she got home at 6 in the morning. So I remember I would get up when I was summer break, and she would beat my ass, cause I was watching WWE loud as fuck in the mornings. I think it was like a rerun or some shit like that. No, that same night. I actually remember this night. None of that happened to me. Some other shit. So we're gonna go back before we even fell asleep. So we were playing the video games in the living room with the big ass TV. She had rented from Rena Center. This big ass TV, and so we got the PlayStation, we're playing, we're passing it over, and, I'm a fucking gamer. I got a gaming body, I don't know if you can tell. But, fucking, chiseled as fuck. Anyways, I was just playing video games till the end. Everybody fell asleep. I was playing. I fell asleep. Now, I don't remember my mom walking in, so that happened to him first. Mm-hmm. Now, what happened to me was she was already in the room. I don't know what she was doing, but I was asleep at that time. And so I'm sleeping, and I hear crying. I hear just like breathing hard and kind of crying. You know when little kids cry and they can't speak, like kind of like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I thought it was him or somebody else. And so I skipped the whole fucking spot. I'll come back to that anyway. So I put the sheet down, and there's a girl She had to be about my age, 10, 12 at that time. And she was just like, I mean, she was just filled with blood all over her face. Her eyes were like pitch black. I mean, it was freaky as fuck. Her hair wasn't frizzy. It was long and it was kind of covering her face, but you could definitely tell that she had, you could tell her facial features, and her body was just glowing. And then she started screaming at me, and so same thing. I panicked, and so I put the sheets over my head, and then I hear a door open, and it's my mom, and she's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you screaming?" I didn't realize she was screaming and I started screaming, but I was so scared that I didn't even realize I was screaming. So I just covered and kept screaming. Somehow he didn't fucking wake up. Nobody else woke up but me. And she came outside and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I just saw some fucking ghosts or some shit." She's tired. She don't go fuck. She's like, "Man, go back to sleep. I ain't got time for this shit." So she went home. And I understand it. So she went back to her room, and I just didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I think I just played video games.
I generally never like sleeping in my own bed.
Before that, actually, so I was showing them this cool thing, this weird thing. I thought it was cool at the time. So when you closed our bedroom door, there would be a weird shadow that would naturally pop up as you're closing the door. Didn't matter if there was a flashlight shining. Didn't matter anything. It was just when you close the door, the shadow would just boop, pop up. It was really fucking weird. I don't know what it was. I think he just didn't like people, and and they didn't believe me. And I kept showing them. They're like, "Oh, it's got to be a trick of the light." Blah blah blah. Well, I sent my friend's younger brother to get one of the remotes, and he saw a shadow in the corner, and it freaked him out so bad that he was huddled up in the corner, just kind of crying. And we managed to calm him down, tell him that it was just something fake or whatever it was, right? But it was. I mean, he was already seeing crazy shit at that time. And which reminds me, one time I was being an asshole, and my mom was like, "Man, just go play outside or some shit like that." And so she kicked me out, and she locked the fucking door. And so I'm like, "Bruh." So she's like, "Just stay outside, let me fucking do what I gotta do, and then you can come back inside." Um, and so I'm like, "Well, I mean, I know I keep my window unlocked, so I'm about to fucking go in through the window, so I'm over here. Big balls, like, man, you can't keep me out of my own motherfucking house." So I'm walking around the house, and sure enough, my window's unlocked, so I raise it, and it had those blinds just like these. Ones that like flip back and forth with the string. And I remember just lifting it up, and there was a girl with a knife running at me screaming. Now, I thought that it was my mom scaring me, because when I fell back, she started laughing. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I ran back around, and I pounded on the door, and she opened the door, and she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Did you do that?" And she's like, I don't know what the fuck, what?" I was like, "Did you just fucking try to stab me while I'm trying to climb through the fucking window?" And she was like, "I've been in the kitchen the whole time. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about." That house was it was so fucking haunted.
I would remember, like, I would be outside playing because we had a little basketball hoop that we put like on a little tree.